The long wait for Netflix's live-action adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender is nearly over, and a lot of information has come out since the series was first announced. Here's everything you need to know about the series in one place. Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender will debut on February 22nd, 2024, and fans have been waiting for that date for quite some time. Many years have passed since the project was first announced in 2018. And some of them offered virtually nothing in the way of production updates. For a long time, the entire series seemed more like a far-off dream than an actual production fans might get to lay eyes on someday. Now that those many months of waiting are behind us, the teaser trailer and promotional images we've seen seem like all that wait time may have been justified. Netflix's take on Avatar: The Last Airbender looks to be a beautifully realized adaptation of the original story, full of gorgeous costumes, elaborate environments, and complex visual effects. If it took a while to get them all just right, well, so be it.
I'm done dwelling on the past.
Like the original cartoon, Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender takes place in a fantastical world dominated by 4 great nations: the sprawling Earth Kingdom, the peaceful Air Nomads, the tight-knit Water Tribe, and the imperialistic Fire Nation. Certain people in every region are capable of manipulating their nation's element through a wide variety of martial arts known as bending. The Avatar, who is the only person capable of bending all 4 elements, connects these nations' material world to the spirit world and keeps both in balance. The world is suffering a serious lack of balance when the story begins, as the Avatar, a 12-year-old air nomad named Aang, has been missing for 100 years. Everything changes when Water Tribe siblings, Katara and Sokka, stumble upon him and his flying bison, Appa, frozen in stasis in an enormous iceberg. Aang must now contend with a world ravaged by the Fire Nation's century-long campaign of conquest. Notably, the Netflix series will not be a one-for-one adaptation of the cartoon. As showrunner Albert Kim explained to Entertainment Weekly, "We don't start the show the way the animated series starts. That was a conscious decision to show people this is not the animated series. We had to sometimes unravel storylines and remix them in a new way to make sense for a serialized drama." As the intense criticism for its live-action predecessor, M. Night Shyamalan's infamous The Last Airbender will show, a good cast is critical to the success of Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender. Shyamalan made the mistake of casting multiple white actors for characters of color. And original series creators Michael Dante DiMartino and Brian Konietzko made it clear from the beginning that Netflix's take would not be repeating this mistake. The lead trio of good guys will consist of Gordon Cormier as Aang, Bowen Dio as Katara, and Ian Owsley as Sokka.
Me, myself, I'm a pretty big fan of the show, so even I'm really excited for this.
While all 3 actors are at the beginning of their careers, fans might know Gwanwon Dio as Kwawet from Anne with an E and the titular heroine of Beans. Dallas Liu, Elizabeth Yu, Paul Sun-hyung Lee, and Daniel Day Kim will bring the Fire Nation to life as Zuko, Azula, Iroh, and Ozai, respectively. Sun-hyung Lee's presence is a good sign, as he's charmed millions of fans as Mr. Kim on Kim's Convenience, and as Carson Tavor on The Mandalorian. Daniel Day Kim, who starred in Hellboy, Raya and the Last Dragon, and Hawaii Five-0, is another jewel in the series' crown. Notably, this won't be his first trip to the Avatar universe, as he voiced General Fang in the original animated series, and Hiroshi Sato in Avatar: The Legend of Korra. The supporting cast is also full of luminaries. Community star Danny Pudi will portray the kooky mechanist, whose inventions are as brilliant as they are dangerous. Star Trek legend George Takei will play the fearsome spirit Ko, who steals the faces of those unlucky enough to cross his path. Amber Midthunder, who blew audiences away with her star turn as Naru in Prey, will portray the soulful princess Yue. In summation, this is a seriously stacked cast, and fans couldn't be happier. Well, fans are naturally eager to see what the live-action versions of the original Avatar: The Last Airbender characters will be like. Not all major characters in the new show will hail directly from the animated series.
My cabbages!
There will be at least one brand new character in Netflix's Avatar named Yukari, who is played by Tamlin Tomita. According to Deadline, Yukari is the mother to Suki, a friend of the protagonist from the cartoon. Yukari will also be the mayor of the small community on Kyoshi Island, filling a small but significant narrative gap in the original Kyoshi Island plotline. The village's political and social organization are very vaguely defined in the original show. There is a leadership figure in the show's depiction of the island, but his role is very small. The episode came early on in the animated series, before the writer's more adventurous forays into detailed political narratives. Yukari's presence suggests that the Kyoshi Island plot may be expanded and deepened beyond the more casual Adventure of the Week role it initially fulfilled. Tomita is best known for her roles in The Karate Kid Part 2 and The Joy Luck Club, though she has over 100 credits on her impressive resume. Albert Kim will serve as showrunner, executive producer, and writer on Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender. However, this wasn't always the case. When the show was first announced in September 2018, original series creators Michael Dante DiMartino and Brian Konietzko were named as the adaptation's executive producers and showrunners. Sadly, in August 2020, DiMartino announced the duo had departed the project in a post on his website. In August 2021, Albert Kim emerged as the project's new showrunner. In a post to the Netflix website, Kim opined that his daughter got him hooked on the show, and that he's particularly excited by the possibilities inherent in modern visual effects and the Netflix model. While the potential excites him, he also noted that following Konietzko and DiMartino came with some pressure. He explained to Entertainment Weekly, "You'd have to be an idiot not to be intimidated a little bit. My first reaction after hell yeah was, holy do I really want to do this?"
To prove your worth as scholars, you have to contribute some worthwhile knowledge.
Luckily, he did get a little time to sit down with the original duo and talk about the story before they departed. While Kim is undoubtedly working hard to make the best show he can, there are still many who are skeptical about the series since DiMartino and Konietzko parted ways with the project. In his open letter to fans, DiMartino revealed the reason he left was due to the fact that he, quote, couldn't control the creative direction of the series. He wrote, "Netflix's live-action adaptation of Avatar has the potential to be good. It might turn out to be a show many of you end up enjoying. But what I can be certain about is that whatever version ends up on screen, it will not be what Brian and I had envisioned or intended to make." Despite their departure, DiMartino and Konietzko still have writing credits on 2 episodes. The series premiere was written by them and showrunner Albert Kim, and the 6th episode has a story by the creators and Ubar Mohammed, best known for her work on Legends of Tomorrow. Additionally, the teleplay for the 6th episode is credited to Konietzko alongside Marvel Comics writer Emily Kim and Netflix writer's assistant Hunter Rees. Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender will be directed by Michael Goy, Roseanne Liang, Jabbar Rassani, and Jet Wilkinson. This is an impressive bunch of people with experience in nearly every genre. Goy has directed episodes of Empire, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Big Sky, and Riverdale. Wilkinson is similarly prolific, having helmed installments of The Shy, Warrior Nun, Daredevil, and How to Get Away with Murder. Rassani has served in various capacities on a number of celebrated shows, including Game of Thrones and The Flash. Finally, Liang's directorial resume consists of generally lower-profile work that is nonetheless impressive, including Creamery, Friday Night Bites, and Shadow in the Cloud. With the exception of Wilkinson, all of these directors will also serve as producers on Avatar: The Last Airbender. They'll be joined by Kurt Williams, Bonnie R. Benwick, Mark David Alper, Ryan Halprin, Dan Lin, and Lindsay Liberator. Taken together, this group boasts a truly massive filmography studded with excellent projects like Made, Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol, The Lego Movie, and Logan. Benjamin Wynn and Jeremy Zuckerman's music was one of the most essential elements of the original Avatar: The Last Airbender animated series. Back when Netflix's live-action adaptation was still fresh news, there was a point when it actually seemed as though the streamer's commitment to recapturing the magic of the source material extended to bringing back Zuckerman. In fact, the composer even indicated in a 2018 tweet that he'd be involved in the remake. However, following DiMartino and Konietzko's departure, Zuckerman confirmed on X, formerly known as Twitter, that he would no longer be providing the music for the Netflix series. The identity of the composer for the live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender series wasn't confirmed until February 2023, when Japanese-American musician Takeshi Furukawa was revealed to be taking over. In a tweet announcing the news, Furukawa wrote, "It is a tremendous honor to announce my involvement on Netflix's epic live-action remake of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and truly humbled to receive stewardship of the incredible themes from the original series. We are hard at work to elevate this to new heights, so stay tuned." Furukawa is a prolific composer whose credits extend from film and television to video games. The recipient of multiple award nominations for his work on the 2016 PlayStation 4 game The Last Guardian, he also provided the music for the 2008 CGI animated film Star Wars: The Clone Wars, as well as the beloved Clone Wars series.
So I hope you enjoy the music as much as I did composing it.
As is often the case with big productions, the visual effects for Avatar: The Last Airbender will be overseen by an array of different VFX studios working together. Among the cooks in the kitchen will be the British studio DNEG, formerly known as Double Negative. One of the most sought-after VFX houses in the world today, DNEG has worked on too many major films and TV shows to list. However, some of their recent notable credits include The Last of Us, The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, and Stranger Things. According to the studio's official website, they will be supplying virtual production services for Netflix's Avatar series. IMDb also currently lists 2 other visual effects studios among the series' company credits: Image Engine Design and Pixomondo. Image Engine is a Canadian studio that has recently offered its services to TV series, including Ahsoka, The Mandalorian, and Moon Knight, as well as films like Birds of Prey, Pokémon Detective Pikachu, Spider-Man: Far From Home, and Disney's live-action remake of Mulan. Pixomondo, a studio founded in Germany in 2001 and currently headquartered in Los Angeles, has had a hand in many big shows and films, including House of the Dragon, The Boys, and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. One of the reasons why Avatar: The Last Airbender has long been considered such a difficult story to adapt to another medium is the fact that it's already so perfectly suited to the running time of a 3-season, 60-episode series. When Netflix announced that Season 1 of its adaptation would only be 8 episodes long, some fans wondered if that would be enough to do justice to all of Book 1, Water. Interestingly enough, despite the shorter episode count, the season will actually be roughly equal to its animated counterpart in terms of runtime, since all episodes will be an hour in length. What this means is that each episode of Netflix's Avatar Season 1 is likely to contain stories from multiple 22-minute installments from Book 1, with the season's general plot roughly corresponding to the animated series. The live-action show's writers have played coy about how faithful the first season will be in terms of plot coverage, but Albert Kim has said that the longer episode runtimes mean that they can flesh out the most important parts of the story. This could mean that less consequential episodes such as The Great Divide and The Fortune Teller may be excised. Additionally, the presence of Azula, Mei, and Ty Lee is an interesting wrinkle that points to some measure of restructuring, since they didn't properly join the original series until Book 2. One of the reasons Avatar: The Last Airbender stood apart from other animated shows of its time was its attention to geography. Taking place on an ocean planet much like Earth, the series took care to always set episodes and storylines in specific parts of its world that viewers could easily recognize. Book 1 is particularly impressive in that regard, because it convincingly charts a round-the-world trip from the south to the north with gradual climate shifts. To pull off that same level of attention to detail, the live-action series picked a filming location that can stand in for several different areas of the Avatar world: British Columbia. As of January 2024, we know that the show was shot largely in and around the Vancouver area, with a combination of location shooting and soundstage work. It has been reported by Avatar News that some of the filming was done in the Howe Sound Fjord. As for the South Pole and North Pole scenes, The Verge reports that the show will be bringing them to life via a massive virtual soundstage full of gigantic LED panels. In early 2021, Paramount Global, then known as Viacom CBS, announced a new division at Nickelodeon named Avatar Studios. Avatar Studios would be tasked with developing new movies and shows set in the universe of Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra. The news broke 3 years after the announcement of the live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender series, leading some to speculate about whether the Netflix series would be part of the upcoming Avatar Studios portfolio. While Avatar Studios does have a production credit on the live-action series, this is likely only due to DiMartino and Konietzko's involvement in the development stage. Avatar Studios was set up by DiMartino and Konietzko after they left Netflix's Avatar with the aim of focusing on new animated projects set in the same universe and continuity as The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra.
Now we're getting to expand the franchise in different directions all at once.
As a result, the live-action series will likely have a completely separate canon from any of the shows, films, or other content to come out of Avatar Studios. The elephant in the room when it comes to Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender series is the fact that the series already has one live-action adaptation, and it was not received well. M. Night Shyamalan's The Last Airbender became legendary not only for its cinematic shoddiness, but for its complete disregard of the key themes, ideas, character arcs, and world-building details of the source material. It even got the titular character's name wrong.
Ong flew us to his home. He told us how he left there in a storm on Appa.
The fear of another fiasco among fans is not lost on the creators of Netflix's Avatar. Showrunner Albert Kim noted that he had never watched the Shyamalan film and made a point of avoiding it once his work on the series was underway. He explained to Entertainment Weekly, "There was a period of time where I thought I should watch it, but then I thought, I don't really want those images in my head as I start to go forward with our version of this project, so I avoided it purposefully." He clarified, however, that he was aware of the most prevalent criticism against the movie and worked to right those wrongs with the series. Additionally, the fact that Season 1 will have a similar overall runtime to Book 1 of the animated series is an encouraging response to fans' oft-voiced opinion that the 2010 film condensed the show's story past the point of comprehension. Despite being animated shows, both Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra feature some very memorable fight choreography. To ensure that all 4 elemental bending techniques were brought to life with as much complexity as possible, both shows employed martial arts teams. These teams were led by martial arts expert and reference actor Sifu Kisu, who planned and acted out choreography which was then recorded and studied by the animators. This resulted in fight scenes that are on par with many live-action shows. The combat aspect of the Avatar universe is dear to fans, so the pressure is on to get it right in the Netflix show. The men in charge of translating this to live action are stunt coordinator Alex Kishkovich and fight instructor Alan Tang. Kishkovich, a veteran stunt performer who has been working on major films and TV shows for over a decade, is best known for his work in the superhero genre. He served as fight coordinator on HBO Max's Peacemaker and previously worked on X-Men Days of Future Past and Deadpool 2. Tang, meanwhile, has ample experience as a stunt coordinator both in films and on TV shows. His notable credits include the Dwayne Johnson blockbuster Skyscraper, Star Trek Discovery, and The Umbrella Academy.